telling you there's a new dynamic in the auto industry. New cars, they are out.
Sell, sell, sell.
Used cars, they're in.
Buy, buy, buy.
We could spend all night talking about why this is the case. Millennials are cheap, fewer younger people learn to drive. Who needs a license when you got Uber? How about even scooters? Meanwhile, cars built in the last decade are a lot more reliable than their predecessors. So buying used is much less of a crapshoot these days. And that's why Cramer fave CarMax, the chain of dealerships that mostly sells used vehicles, has seen its stock rally 14% for the year, while new vehicle-focused AutoNation is down nearly 22%. That's why I said at the top of the show that new car prices will continue to be under pressure. But that barely scratches the surface of the story. You want to see the biggest winner here? Look no further than Carvana, the online used car dealership. You buy online, and then you go to one of their used car vending machines, basically a gigantic automated garage, pick it up. Over the past few weeks, the stock has pulled back pretty dramatically from its recent highs. But get this, it's still up more than 500% from where it bottomed a few days after its IPO roughly 18 months ago. And it's giving a terrific 185% gain just for 2018. Now, back in August, Nick from Arizona called in to ask about Carvana, and I said I need to do some catching up on this thing before I render an opinion. At the time, the stock was at 54 bucks. Then it surged to $72 at its highs last month, and it's now round trip to 54 again. So I figured this is a good time to circle back and look at Carvana. First off, it's past the mustard. I used to put mayo on it. Gotta eat some crow. In January, not long after Carvana had missed its sales forecast and trimmed its guidance, I told you to wait for the company to prove itself before you do any buying. That's been the way I do things. It's since the way I wrote the book, Real Money. That's been my philosophy. And then I just kind of forgot about it. The stock roared higher and higher. So I missed a major opportunity for you, and that's bad. But what did we do with Carvana right now? Isn't that more important than looking at the past? For starters, this company has a revolutionary concept. While I'm sure many of you would be reluctant to buy a used car off the internet, sight unseen, we got a whole generation of people who literally can't remember a time before the internet. They do everything online, which is why this idea sounds much less out there or outlandish to the under 30 crowd than it does, say, to someone of my octogenarian generation. Buying a car, especially a used car, has always been a painful process, right? I mean, no one really has liked it of my ilk.
The House of Pain.
Oh, just a second. All right, well, I'm not buying anything this show. All right, there's a reason used car salesmen are practically synonymous with misleading high-pressure sales tactics. So Carvana had a brilliant idea. They took their cue from every other kind of retail and decided to cut out the middleman, in this case, the dealerships, in order to go directly to the consumer. Instead, the company uses technology to give potential buyers an incredible amount of information on each vehicle via their website. You can go there to research a car or buy it or even get financing. You never need to interact with another human being. It's like ordering a Domino's pizza. That's a huge selling point for millennials. After you pay, they either drop the car off at your house or they let you pick it up from one of their used car vending machines. Come on, this is great. Let me put it to you like this. When you buy a used car from a dealership, the whole process can take hours. With Carvana, I just bought a car. All from the comfort of my office or your couch. Even better, if you don't like your car, you got 7 days to return the darn thing. It's like a week-long test drive. Good luck getting that from a traditional dealership. They don't even like you to go around the block. But even though I love the concept, I was very cautious about Carvana when I told you to wait for the company to prove itself 10 months ago. Management's execution had been too inconsistent. Sure enough, 2 months later, the company reported another disappointing quarter with weak guidance, and the stock sold off dramatically as analyst after analyst downgraded it.
Sell, 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 sell.
However, by the end of March, Carvana started picking up some sponsorship. A couple of analysts either upgraded or initiated coverage with buy ratings, and the stock started bouncing. Then in April, the company announced an 11 million share secondary offering, which ended up being priced at $27.50. At the same time, though, Carvana also pre-announced better than expected sales, which breathed new life into the stock. Then over the summer, this thing just exploded higher on very little news, as analyst after analyst kept finding reasons to raise their price targets. And hey, it's not like they were wrong. When Carvana reported its latest results on August 8th, the company finally gave the bulls the spectacular blowout that they've been craving. While Carvana delivered a wider than expected earnings loss, the sales came in much higher than expected, up 127%, 127% year over year. Wow, there's a number. They expanded into 9 new markets, bringing the total up to 65. It now takes them an average of just 66 days to sell a car. That is down from 105 days the year before. That's the key metric. Even better, the guidance, explosive. Carvana predicted a fabulous third quarter. Management raised their full-year guidance. They're now forecasting 115 to 127% revenue growth, with total gross profit per car coming in at $2,000 to $2,200, up from a previous forecast of $1,539. That is huge, people. By the end of the year, Carvana expects to be in 79 to 84 markets across the country, at which point they'll be covering 57% of the U.S. population. In short, Carvana is not just a disruptor. It's also a classic regional to national growth story, something we love when we have money. Now, in response, again, the stock moved higher, and that made perfect sense. Everybody was expecting Carvana's growth to slow, perhaps dramatically, because that's exactly what the company told us would happen when it gave us tepid guidance earlier this year. You know what these guys were doing, right? What? Repeat after me. They were doing U-Pod. They underpromised and over-delivered. Exactly what I told the Philadelphia Eagles to do last year during summer camp, and they won the Super Bowl. But then the stock got a little out of control. When Mitch in Arizona asked me about Carvana a week after it reported, it was trading at 54. Then over the course of the next month, step by step, inch by inch, it suddenly climbed to 72 bucks. Wow. This move was simply about a momentum stock attracting new adherents after a great quarter. Since then, though, Carvana's lost nearly 25% of its value. Again, on no real news, except that a major shareholder has been selling the stock hand over fist. I don't blame the guy. With such massive gains, it would be irresponsible not to ring some of the register. So now that Carvana's pulled back, what do we do with it? I'm torn. On the one hand, even as it has come down from its highs, the stock has still run a lot. You know I hate to chase. On the other hand, it's not expensive by any stretch of the imagination. Carvana trades at just nearly 2 times next year's expected sales. Yet the company's growing like wheat. Next year, the analysts are forecasting 80% revenue growth. You know what? I think that Carvana's too attractive to ignore. However, I would only buy Carvana for speculation, as the stock's a real wild trader, as I just described. You need to be prepared to be building your position gradually on the way down if it keeps falling. The bottom line, Carvana's got a fabulous concept, which, by the way, Mr. Fed Chairman, keeps car prices down and reduces inflation. I think this online used car salesman has absolutely proven itself. I like it. But even after its near 25% decline from its recent highs, the stock remains hot, hot, hot. So yes, you have my blessing to buy it here. Just don't be too aggressive and don't buy it all at one level. I want to go to Michael in North Carolina. Michael.